Villa Park has been one of Chelsea's favourite grounds in recent years. They've won on their last 4 Premiership visits without conceding a goal, a sequence which started when Dennis Wise scored the winner here in 1995. Wise has also scored with headers in Chelsea's last 2 matches. But Villa's Ian Taylor can do better than that. His current sequence of 6 goals in his last 6 games is the best of his Villa career and helps to offset his less enviable record, the most booked player in the Premiership this season with 12 yellow cards. It was partly because he is 1 booking away from suspension that Steve Watson was left out last week with important cup ties coming up. He's back today though in place of Steve Stone, but otherwise John Gregory sees no reason to tamper with a side unbeaten in their last 8 games. Chelsea themselves are unbeaten in 7. George Weah and Emerson Tom were ineligible for the midweek cup tie, and they return with Jody Morris also in the starting lineup. Chris Sutton gets a recall up front as Weah's partner. Zola and Flo are on the bench. Petrescu, Desai, Ferrer, Di Matteo and Lasso are all injured. Alan Wilkie from Chesterton Street is in his last season as a Premiership referee, and he could have chosen worse January days than this to come to the Midlands. It's calm in as much as the sun is shining. There's a bit of breeze around, but quite bright. And 2 teams who've been recently putting a string of results together. Villa indeed have an important date coming up this Tuesday, the first leg of their Worthington Cup semi-final against Leicester, followed next Sunday by an FA Cup tie against Leeds. So it's a big week for Aston Villa. Chelsea, of course, play Leicester themselves in the FA Cup next weekend. Morris. Where again? Onside. Oh, good play by George Weah. Oh, dear me. Spoke too soon. The former World and European Footballer of the Year worked his way cleverly into a shooting position, but then it all went wrong. Turned his man very nicely, but dear me. Both teams really looking to make the first proper opening. Just a hint of one from George Weah. Obviously not, but it was very, very close for Ed de Hoy. It was a back pass from Emerson Tom. Merson. Right. Carboni. In towards Churchim. That was Tom again. This is Wright. Churchim. Still Villa have it. This was a little close for comfort by Ed de Hoy. Just about got away with it. Villa's crowds haven't been all they might be this season in terms of size, but there's an exciting time coming up for them. Weah coming in now. Oh, he's got away from it. Hyog and George Weah. So close to putting Chelsea in front. He scored in his opening appearance against Tottenham, the Liberian, and he might have made his total 2 here. Now he's in the starting lineup. Slide rule shot, but just wide of the post. This is Merson. To his right. What a useful effort. That was floating in the wind a bit, and David James didn't seem to quite know where it was. John Harley from left back here just scoops one up with his left foot, and it's going over James, but well, it clipped the roof of the net. Joachim goes down, flags up for a free kick on the far side. Dennis Wise in the thick of it as ever. Merson has gone trotting across to deliver the free kick, and Southgate, who's been in scoring form recently, has gone forward to join Taylor and Ehiog. Well, they all slightly misjudged it. Ed de Hoy got fingers there. It's a corner to Villa. Southgate, Ehiog, and I think it hit Harley. Ehiog very close to putting Aston Villa in front from Merson's corner. Comes out to Gareth Southgate. Ehiog's shot, I think that's John Harley, who managed to divert the ball over his own crossbar. Southgate's there again. Now the game is starting to warm up. This is Barry for Villa. Now it's Merson. Something to occupy his mind, I think, at both ends of the pitch in this last few minutes. Here's Deschamps. Here's Wise. Good movement from Chris Sutton here. Here he is with the shot. Feels for handball right in front of the referee. Sutton is certain. Mr. Wilkie's certain it wasn't. Sutton, who was volleying a headed pass by Gustavo Poyet with his right foot, and it hits. Well, it actually hits Gareth Barry, but it might have been self-defence his arms were up in. It's on by Watson. Leboeuf needs to do something with it. He's found Tom, but Merson is quickly in front of the centre-back. Ball remains in play. Morris. Deschamps. And the end of a first half in which there was quite a bit of promise, but no great achievement. Chris Sutton recalled to the colours, thought he might have had a penalty when Poyet knocked the ball back to him here. The ball certainly strikes the arm or arms of Gareth Barry, but he might argue they were there in self-defence. Having said that, defence has had the better of that period, which ends Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 0. 19-year-old Darius Vassell is on at the start of the second half for Aston Villa in place of Julian Joachim, who's not been feeling too well all week and has had a recurrence of that in the first half and has been replaced. So with a new man up front, Villa now playing towards the Holt end in the second half, and Chelsea don't need to be reminded that with 6 defeats already against their name in the Premiership so far this season, that's twice as many as in the whole of last. These are the kind of games that they've got to win if they're going to maintain any sort of championship challenge. The infringement was just inside the line. Taylor's trying to find a position in the centre, so is Ehiog. Oh, and there's the header, and so close. And there are players here on the ground. I think it's Steve Watson who's hurt. He threw himself into that, Watson. Merson takes it, and Watson comes in for a good firm header, not far away, but is injured in the process. Well, Watson is fit to continue. Emerson Tom. Boateng won that. This is Vassell. Oh, and he's caught Frank Leboeuf. And the follow-up shot whizzing over, but the referee was more concerned about Leboeuf there on his 32nd birthday. He sustained an injury. Vassell tried to work a little trick, a step over really, and in doing that, accidentally by the look of it, He made contact with Frank Leboeuf. Chelsea already had Desai out with injury. Guess who himself has been injured quite recently, is coming on to replace Frank Leboeuf. Oh, it's a mistake by Barry. This is Ware. And now it's Deschamps to Poyet. Sutton out to Lambourd. And the header was by Chris Sutton, leaning backwards. But he doesn't seem to be having any luck at all in a Chelsea shirt just at the moment. It's an awkward cross to get to, this, from Lambourd. Sutton had to really twist backwards to make contact. Merson looking here for Vassell. Now then, is he in trouble? There's nobody anywhere near him when this happens. He slides over the line and then, oof, something went. Forward by Delaney. Merson! Oh, that's the best effort of the match. Bearing in mind where he started. Merson, who as a boy, they always think, people always associate Paul Merson with Arsenal, but in fact, he was a big Chelsea fan as a boy. Comes inside the Chelsea defence here and fires one just too high beyond De Hoy's goal, but it was an effort really carved out of something he made himself. Defender is Emerson Tom, and he was nowhere in the picture. Barry. Well, yes, who protesting his innocence? Benito Carboni, who went down. Well, I think you've got to say foul, haven't you? Oh, it's the best chance of the match. And Hugo Ehiog put it wide. Merson again, a lovely delivery. It beats all the defenders. George Ware, in fact, was the man who should have cut it out for Chelsea. But Ehiog should surely have put it away for Aston Villa. Delaney. Stone. Oh, Delaney again in stride. And hooked away by Lambourd. And here's Carboni. Oh, and Stone did well to keep his feet. I wonder what would have happened if Stone had gone down there. Because it may still work for Villa. It's Taylor, and he has gone down. And nothing given by Mr. Wilkie. And Wise has got up and pushed Taylor with his arms and insinuated that Taylor dived. Well, there are two. Oh, and then another trip. Oh, and there's pushing and shoving in the area now. Merson trying to stop Wise. Wise is annoyed because he thinks Taylor was acting, but there were two players who went over in quick succession, and Mr. Wilkie has to sort a few things out here. This is Jody Morris on Taylor. Nothing given by the referee, and all the Chelsea players felt Taylor made too much of that. And Dennis Wise has said that Taylor should be penalised himself. Neither player, in fact, has been shown a card. Don't know if it's my impression that referees are already responding to the Premier League dictate to calm down a bit on cards, but Mr. Wilkie has been very tolerant today, and in my view, possibly for the better. Ehiog away from Ware. This is Flo again. Lambourd. Flo to Deschamps. Trying to get away from Boateng. Oh, and Ware is there! And David James! A fine save. George Ware got the touch on the ball after Deschamps had sent Boateng the wrong way. But James here just gets that long armour, corner to Chelsea. And now James comes all the way. Snatched from Merson by De Huy. Well, it's a lively old finish, this. David James gets great credit here. It was going over him and under the bar. Here's Hoog for Chelsea to Tom. Wise tries to flick the ball on. It's George Ware here for Chelsea. Great save again by David James. Chelsea, who tend to come very late, have almost done it again. It may still happen. It's Flo. In by Deschamps. What a good stop again by the Villa goalkeeper. That's twice he saved them in the closing minutes, and each time it was from George Ware. Here's Wright. And now Barry. And Gareth Barry continues his run, and it's an excellent run by the centre-back. It was brilliant. If only he could have just picked out a player on his own side. Merson, I think he was trying to find, and it's the end of a match which ebbed and flowed. George Ware very nearly won it for Chelsea in the closing minutes, but David James foiled him twice. Villa will claim too that they had their second half moments. Ehiog headed one wide, Merson came close. It's Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 0.